Hey, I had a question on number 24. This should be the diagram. I've got a 35 Newton force at 135 degrees. I've got a 28 Newton, which would be technically at 0 or perpendicular, and then an 18 Newtons. Let's just double check that. I think they have that correct. I do. A radius of 12 centimeters in the inner, and then a 24 on the outer. We assume they're connected. And the final thing is they've got this 0.4 meter newtons or newton meters opposing the motion. So these forces are going to either get it going clockwise or counterclockwise or clockwise. And then whichever way it goes, if it's clockwise, this will be a 0.4 in the opposite direction. So it's like, it calls it friction. Okay. The first thing I want to do is set frame of reference. I think positive being clockwise, anything that sends it this way would be great. And so what is torque? Torque is your radius perpendicular to your force, or your force perpendicular to your radius. Oops. Perpendicular. Either way you want to look at it, and in every single scenario, as far as my radius, they are perpendicular. So this 135 is just a trick, okay? So what do we've got? We've got 18, and it's going to go have an effect positive, and then my radius is 0.24. My 35 is a positive. It's going to be influencing it clockwise. So positive 35 times 0.12. And then a negative, right? Negative 28 times the 0.24. So what I would do is I would add these up. I honestly don't know. That would be about 17 and 18. So what would that be? 35. So I'm assuming that it's going to go clockwise, right? And so this 0.4 will end up being negative 0.4, and I would assume that that's in the counterclockwise direction. So I'm assuming that this ends up being clockwise, or my net torque is clockwise. Okay, so that's basically how I'd handle it. I don't know if your question was about this. What do we do with the 0.4? Or I wasn't getting any of the numbers correct. Or if it was that 135. Okay, ultimately every force when it's connected to a wheel and you're pulling that tension with a rope is going to be perpendicular with that contact. It's going to be tangent to that circle. Okay, I hope that's helpful for number 24.